Hey, and welcome again to another episode of Sewer Scrolls. I'm Ryan,
Anthony.
and this episode we'll be talking about ICC Con. It's a vintage Star Wars convention held usually in Nashville. This year is in Murfreesboro. The past couple of years, one year is in Lebanon, basically Middle Tennessee area, run by Michael. Awesome convention. We go every year. This year was awesome because it had a cast of turtles there. The actor that plays Shredder, James Saito, was there, as well as Ernie Reyes Jr., the Splinter, the other turtles as well. Pretty awesome. Just going into it, the convention was amazing. Like a lot of comics, a lot of figures, stuff like that. Got a pretty awesome haul this year. Got some pretty key turtles issues. I found issue 2. Let Anthony have that one, right, Anthony?
Yeah, we'll get in. We'll get into that.
Okay, yeah. Got some pretty awesome issues. Got some cool figures. A lot of like awesome turtle figures. Met some pretty awesome turtle figure dudes. We'll talk about that a little later. Had ran into a guy that's selling some pretty awesome kaiju, like Japanese monster stuff from like Godzilla, Ultraman. Got some cool Power Rangers stuff. Got a Power Ranger Zord that was pretty sweet. Let's see here. The also after the show is over, ran into these brothers that are doing Star Wars fan film. They called Journey to the Dark Side Ascension. That was pretty neat. Got to screen that at the end after before the lobby show. After that, every year they do a lobby show. What is that? It's a show in the lobby of the hotel that the convention is at, basically. This year's at Embassy Suites, so the lobby show was in the lobby of Embassy Suites. Anybody can bring stuff, sell it. It's really cool to see a lot of familiar faces, people that come back every year. Ran into some new people as well. The Stone Mandalorian, he does a podcast. We
Yeah,
got to meet him. Got to talk. We're going to probably do a collaboration here coming up shortly.
yeah, super cool.
Also CBC Apparel and Clothing. This guy has awesome T-shirts. We'll throw some on the screen here, let you see a few that he was selling. I was able to snag one of Andor Cassian, which is freaking awesome. I loved
Yeah,
it. Also, let's see here. Was there anything that you really enjoyed seeing while you were there, Anthony?
man, the lobby show is what it's about for me, dude. That's you introduced me to that, obviously, but for anyone who might be watching, may not know. But yeah, you kind of had the knew the down low on the lobby show, before I knew hardly knew much about the convention itself. But yeah, it's kind of like I just love it because it's an organic. It seems like it happens organically, where it's basically everyone that's in town for the convention is at the same hotel basically, and they just bring tables out into the lobby and peddle stuff, trading, buying, selling, and then when that kind of fizzles out, it then becomes room sales is what they call it. So they'll put sign up sheets in the elevators and put their room numbers of anyone who's got their door open. It's another sale, so it's kind of like
Yeah, and the
something
room sales
official
cool.
convention.
Yeah, I love the like because it goes from the lobby show and everyone's like, okay, the lobby show's over. Now let's go to the rooms. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't know a better way to spend my weekend than going to a complete stranger's hotel room with a bunch of other grown men looking at toys at 1 in the
Internet
morning.
toy. Yeah, dude. Late at night, the
Copious
toys
amounts of
come
money.
out. All pretty. Man, there's some rooms that had some pretty rare stuff. We'll have some. Yeah, we'll have some cool footage of what we got to see at the lobby show. But yeah, as far as uh, you know, the convention, yeah, we met the guys that were making the Star Wars film, the Pietropoli brothers. Really cool. Journey to the Dark Side Ascension. We got to see that sneak peek, which was really awesome. You found me and brought me. Hey, there's a bunch of there's a bunch of there's a bunch of Turtles comics over here. This guy's got Star Wars comics, but yeah, let's check out the Turtle comics, man. I already looked through it, or at least that was the subtext that I'm reading between the lines. And yeah, so I see issue 2. I'm like, cool, yeah, I'm gonna grab this. And then what was it? You were like, oh wait, no, I was gonna grab that. Or what are you
Yeah, we're talking
talking
about
about? You already
the
you
original
saw
Mirage.
you saw the stand, you went and walked around
I
everything
had to go
else.
get cash from the ATM. I was like, hey
Okay.
man, it's number two. I'm gonna go get some cash real quick.
I had no idea.
But anyway, yeah, Turtles, Mirage number two. So one of the original lines. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
That's
But
my
yeah,
lowest number I've got yet. So I only kind of only recently started collecting the first Mirage run, but yeah, that number two is a third printing, but still a really great find. So sorry, I didn't mean to snake it out of here, man. But that's what happens at these things. You know, we're looking for the same stuff a lot. So
yeah, it was really cool to get to meet James Saito, man. That was pretty awesome to be able to like talk to him in person. He just really had spent a lot of time talking to me whenever I approached his booth. It was pretty neat. He made it very personable. He remembered my name even later, which was pretty cool. You don't really, I mean, I don't remember people's names. I don't know how he's able to meet so many fans. I remember their names later. But yeah, he spent it. He took his time and really just told me about, because I'd asked him like, what was it like when you found out that you're playing Shredder in a movie Ninja Turtles? And his response was really cool. He was like, I didn't know much about the comics. I just knew I was playing this ninja guy named Shredder, and there's a rat and there's turtles. And so basically, he took the approach of just like he tried to kind of section himself off and try to live as though what he envisioned this character, the Shredder, would live like. He started studying like karate, Tai Chi, all these types of things, and just trying to just kind of immerse himself. I mean, basically, kind of like method acting, I suppose. But yeah, he was really cool to talk to. And he's in a lot of other cool stuff. Like, remember, we ran into him like later, and you remember that he
yeah.
was in the show that you're watching. What was the name of that
Well,
TV?
yeah, so when I got there, it was a little bit after you had already met him, but then I got to make a nice run through the convention center before it closed for the day, and yeah, I just saw him. We saw him, and I said like I'd love to say hey to this guy, and I'm a fan. But when I first saw him, I realized that I recognized him from something much more recent. He was in my wife and I's pretty much our favorite rom com. If you like, Randall Park is freaking awesome. Ali Wong. So he plays Randall Park's dad in this film. Always Be My Maybe is what it's called. But anyway, yeah, within the last few years. So I was like, oh wow, I didn't know he was still very actively acting. But yeah, his portrayal of Shredder was really awesome, and that everybody loves that 1990 TMNT film. But he was a super cool guy. I approached him and he remembered you, Ryan. And yeah, I just told him like, hey man, we've really admired your work growing up. It's been kind of that film's been a big part of our lives. And I told him I enjoyed him in his more recent work as well. But yeah, that was really cool, man. And then on to the lobby show. As far as finds, I didn't go too crazy, but I did find issue 1 and 2 of Star Wars 2015 run. The Marvel run. I let's see what else. I found some famous monster magazines. They actually were Star Wars, features. When those films were coming out, there's one that corresponds with Empire Strikes Back, one that corresponds with just Star Wars: A New Hope. Same with just some old Star Wars magazines I found, kind of movie mags, which were really cool. One thing that was also about it is one of the magazines was running print before Return of the Jedi was out, obviously. So they were talking about the upcoming third Star Wars film and referred to it as Revenge of the Jedi, which was cool because obviously that was the working title. We all know it's Return of the Jedi, obviously. But then kind of my prized find that we found at the convention, it was in one of the room sales, a actual animation cell for the animated series Brave Star.
Brave Star.
Yeah. So many people I talk to have no freaking clue what it is. But I was really pumped to find it because we found a deal on that thing. Remember?
Oh yeah, I think it's like $30 or
I got it for
$35.
35
It was
bucks.
actually two, I think two overlaid
Yeah.
cells on top of each other actually. So it's technically two. But yeah, it's just cool to have a piece of like a filmation history, man. Like I just love anything filmation did. Of course, they did like He-Man, Brave Star. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's just like a lot of fun. I just love the Ghostbusters with Tracy. Yeah, talking car and stuff like that. It was Filmation has a special place in my heart. So
awesome. Yeah, man. I've never owned an animation cell either. So I was kind of haggling with them, and I was like, man, has anyone asked about this yet except for me? And he's like, yeah, no. Brave Star is super underappreciated, man. I think if you're curious to dive down that rabbit hole, you should go show Brave Star some love. It's a good animated series.
Actually, pretty positive I picked up a Brave Star figure like 2 years ago at the ICCC Con.
I think you did. Yeah.
And I got a couple Silverhawks figs, and actually a Filmation's Ghostbusters as well.
Nice.
Fangster and Tracy. So yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I know you love
Filmation figures at the ICC Con. They've got quite a good selection there.
Oh yeah. Well, man, also a big thing that we teased on the first episode is the sneak peek that we got, or we got a real inside look at some rare prototypes. And they're actually the kind of like the rocker alternate of each turtle. So there was like the rocker turtles. Rock and Leo. That entire set of those alternates, Ben, who we met, had all the prototypes.
They pulled it out. He had this like, you want to see something cool? I remember when he said, he's like, you want to see something cool, and he pulls out this like metallic metal cage. That I'm assuming there's going to be like like platinum plates or something crazy in there. And he opens it up, and it was the actual prototypes for the Rockin' Turtles, all 4 of them. And he's like, yeah, I got the band back together. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. Yeah, he really opened up and just really showed us and educated us about the prototype making process when action figures are being made and all that. And you've got the video, so we'll post that or whatever. And we asked him permission. He said, yeah, absolutely. I want to share this with the world. This is something that makes me happy. Please put it on your podcast. So thanks, Ben.
This is a First Shot hotspot. It's the only one known to exist. And it is when they test the production mold with non-production colors, just any plastic that's in the mold or that they have on hand, to make sure the injection mold works correctly to assemble all of the figures and produce all of the figures for the line.
That's so sick. So sick.
This is a hand-painted hard copy Rappin' Mike. So it's a resin hard copy assembled with pins, not assembled like in a production figure. And it has a bunch of 3D not only a bunch of alternate paint and crazy details that are not on the production version, but a bunch of stuff is 3D that ended up being stickers.
Yeah.
Which I also have the original art for.
That's the original concept art?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where did you come across the concept?
Chris Fawcett, he wrote the book Rad Plastic. He unearthed 90% or more of all pre-production Ninja Turtle things that are on the market currently, which happened about 5 or 6 years ago or so. And I ran across him in the Vintage Turtles Facebook group and just took an interest in the pre-production process. He was happy to educate me, and he ended up, we became friends. He lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina. Our first turtle film was largely filmed.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, April's Farmhouse is still there. It's a wedding venue now.
Oh, wow.
It's very recognizable, too. It's a spiritual fucking experience. I've been to all the film locations that still exist, including New York, and no one is better than April's Farmhouse.
Awesome. Okay.
Not even fucking close.
I will definitely have to go see that. And then this is the classic rocker
Leo First Shot. So this is the same as this in the pre-production process, but as you can see, it's non-production colors. So a lot of the cool things about First Shots is you never know what colors you're going to end up with. And what we have in here is the entire band So this is what the resin looks like when it's not painted.
Okay.
So this is the same.
Yeah, I've actually never seen this before. This is really cool. Thank you for sharing.
Of course,
this.
It's my. It's why I brought them. Of course, 100%, of course, and you're very welcome. So it's Classic
yeah.
Rocker Leo resin hard copy, not painted. This is Heavy Metal Wrath resin unpainted hard copy.
Sick. The Heavy Metal Wrath is
This
so cool.
is Punker Dawn, and the interesting thing about this one is it's a different color because it's the only one that Anaglyph Studios did for Playmates instead of Varner Studios.
Okay.
So Varner Studios did the other three in this wave, and for whatever reason, Anaglyph did just this one. And the other thing that makes it cool is, see how these are more crisp?
Yeah.
It's because normally hard copies are based on the clay sculpt.
Okay.
The wax sculpt, excuse me.
Okay.
So the artist does a clay sculpt like the pork chop here, right?
Yeah.
A first rough clay. Then they save that image, right?
Yeah.
And then they produce the same thing again, but in wax, and then the artist refines the details.
Okay.
Then they do a hard copy. They save a hard copy on the refined wax. This is a hard copy based on the first clay sculpt. That's why it's more rough,
Yeah.
and it does not look like the
Yeah.
produced Punker Dawn figure because it was based on the rough
it almost
clay,
looks like the clay.
and not the final wax.
Yeah.
And it was done by a different studio, and they use a different color resin, so that's the reasons why this one looks different than the others. Anyway, it took me many years, but I finally got the band back together.
Oh my
with
gosh,
the,
you got the entire band.
unpainted, hard
And then
copies.
let me get one little look here. Not Turtles related at all,
Oh,
but Quail Dog.
Unproduced fast food toy, original clay sculpt.
So this never hit the light of day.
No.
Is that
right?
good?
And it's vintage. And it's
dude,
vintage,
that's awesome.
obviously.
Well, here's the belt on his head. Oh gosh, that's so cool. Well, shit, man. Thank you for sharing
Of
this
course.
with us.
My absolute pleasure.
Yes, huge thanks to Ben. Super cool dude, man. Yeah, he brought the prototype so he could just kind of share that to other, passionate Turtles fans. I thought that was awesome. And then there was, you guys will see in the video, I'll put it up, but he had a little bonus prototype, which I really appreciated, a Quail Dog prototype, which I thought was awesome.
From Doug.
From Doug. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff. That's the coolest part, man. Just being able to, meet people with obviously similar interests at the conventions and just kind of bounce around to the hotel rooms and chat with people and, make connections and stuff. Trying to think if there was anything else awesome that we saw there. We did get to see some screen used stuff. I believe.
There's like
Turtles 3.
This samurai outfit. In fact, Ben and his friend Jim were rooming together. They're in the same hotel room. Jim showed me the picture where the guy let him put the samurai outfit on. So I was like super jealous about that. Getting to wear a screen used Ninja Turtles 3 samurai armor.
Yeah.
That was freaking cool. And then was it Jingle All the Way items?
Yeah, there was a Turbo Man. A set used Turbo Man helmet, which was cool. That was, a big one for me as a kid, obviously. And
gotta love Turbo Man.
Yeah.
Turbo Man.
That was awesome. Great convention though, man. Just again, huge shout out to the Pietropoli brothers that made the Journey to the Dark Side and are putting out Journey to the Dark Side Ascension soon. We'll link that in the bio for anybody that's interested, but it's a really, really the first short film was awesome, and what we got to see from the second is now on their YouTube page, so you can see the trailer, and it looks really awesome. It looks like they took it to another level.
Yeah, man. The production levels there, lighting, sound, special effects, the acting, the costuming. I remember when we were sitting there watching the preview, one scene, I just the hair on the back of my neck stood up. We just both looked at each other and we're like, yes.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, huge shout out to the Stoned Mandalorian. If you guys, if anyone's interested in seeing more ICC Con content, he's got some great stuff up. I watched all of his videos as well. He was a super cool dude. I have a feeling we'll link up with him at some point, and then if nothing else, we'll catch him at the next ICC Con. I'll link his channel as well for anyone that's interested in checking out more ICC Con content. And Ben, huge thanks for showing us the prototypes.
All right, well, that wraps up this podcast, special one about ICC Con. And as always, Cowabunga.
Cowabunga.